Standard costing, variance analysis. A variance is the difference between actual and standard. So, if you observe the pictures, we set standards, targets. Okay. If we cross that cost, we are in losing side. If we are within the limits of the cost, then we achieved it. That is a favorable situation. Okay. If we exceed the cost, targeted cost, if we exceed it, we have to revise the standard, and again we have to record the actual costs. So likewise it works. So importance of variance analysis. So primary objective is to exercise cost control and cost reduction. If we set the cost targets, so by seeing that target, we'll try to reduce or we'll try to control our cost, and we'll try to maintain within the limits of the cost. The management by exception principle is applied through variance analysis. So what is management by exceptions? It is a style of business management that focuses on identifying and handling the cases that deviate from the norm and recommend the best practice by the project management methods. So simply, we'll try to identify where is the mistake, and we'll try to rectify that mistake by implementing best practices. It creates a cost consciousness in the minds of every employee of business organization. So business employee motivation by setting standards, by setting targets. So every employee in their minds always feel it is like an achievement if employee maintains cost control or cost reduction. So profit planning work can be properly carried on by the top management. It encourages forward thinking and helps to set benchmarks. So forward thinking, so all future possibilities, we have to predict it, and then we have to set the standards. So if we predict the future possibility, it's not going to be new for the business. The subdivision of variance analysis discloses the relationship prevailing between different variances. Disposal of variances. So before explaining this disposal of variances, I'll go back the process of standard costing. So first, setting of standards. We'll set the standards, and whenever the actuals are ascertained, we'll compare the actuals with the standards, and we'll investigate the variance analysis. Anyhow, adverse variances, we found it, and what we are going to do with that variance. Disposition of variance. So variances are disposed of in accounts by following methods. So by following these methods, it is going to be disposed of. All types of variances are transferred to the profit and loss account. That is the first one. So transfer all variances to profit and loss account. Under this method, stock of work in progress, finished goods, and cost of sales are maintained at a standard cost, and variances arising are transferred to profit and loss account. So they'll maintain at a standard cost, and whenever variances came with the actuals, they'll transfer it to the profit and loss account. If inventories are valued at the standard cost rather than actual cost, different operational statements can be made available at earlier date. So if we are maintaining a predetermined cost, if we are maintaining all the statements, the predetermined cost, then we are ready with the statements at early date. The amount of variances is equally distributed over the cost of sales, work in progress, and finished goods. So the second one, whenever the variances came, we'll distribute equally to the stock, cost of sales, and work in progress, and finished goods. By doing this, the cost of sales and the stock is shown as actual cost in the financial statements. So instead of transferring it to profit and loss account, we'll just deduct it from the various stock items, so that it will be, all financial statements will be maintained at actual cost. Next one, write off quantity variance to profit and loss account, and spread price variance over to cost of sales, work in progress, and finished goods. So if it is a quantity variance, write off it to the profit and loss account. If it is a price variance, spread it over the cost of sales, work in progress, and finished goods. Okay, the reason behind apportioning variance to inventories and cost of sales is that they represent cost, although they are derived as variances. Okay, they represent costs, even though they derived and they are explained as variance. Finally, it is a cost. Okay, each variance is carefully analyzed in accord with to the causes of its occurrence. So carefully we have to analyze it. The profit and loss caused by the variances as were results of controllable factors would be transferred to the costing profit and loss account. On the other hand, variances arised because of uncontrollable causes should be given to the cost of sales and cost of stock. So if it is a favorable or controllable factors, not favorable, it is a, if it is a if such variance is because of controllable factors, then transfer it to profit and loss account. If such variance is because of uncontrollable factors, then transfer it to the cost of sales. However, when the variances are prorated or set up as reserves, they may not draw similar attentions of executives. So if we maintain reserves, then it won't be that much pointed out. Okay, say for example, so now the situation is COVID. So next time they will businesses may maintain a special fund called COVID fund, special purpose fund. Okay, so in such a cases they will meet all these variances from the special funds. Likewise, they dispose of the variances. Next, classification of variances. So total variance is equal to price variance plus quantity variance. So what is total variance? Material, labor, and overhead. Okay, total material variances is nothing but material price variance plus material quantity variance. Total labor variances is labor price variance and labor quantity variance. Overhead price variance and overhead volume variance. So these three are combinedly called total variance. Okay. So variances are classified on the basis of control. If it is classified on the basis of control, controllable variances and uncontrollable variances. What we have to do with the controllable variances? So if variances because of controllable factors, we have to transfer it to the profit and loss account. If it is because of uncontrollable factors, we have to transfer it to the cost of sales. So next one, on the basis of profitability, favorable variances and unfavorable variances. Okay, so favorable variances, we are in the limit. Uncontrollable variances, we exceeded the limit. These are also known as credit and debit variance, also known as credit and debit variance, or negative and positive variance. So on the basis of elements of costs, so total cost variance is a difference between standard cost value of the output achieved in a period and the total cost incurred. So in terms of cost, total cost variance is equal to standard cost minus actual cost.